welcome to the official Food Truck Podcast. We talk to food truck owners across the entire civilized world. Today we go to Toledo, Ohio, and we talk to Josh Deuce's Dogs, and he's a hot dog truck. Now, you got a big hot dog truck, though. You're not... Oh, God.
Size matters in hot dogs, yes.
Colleen, go ahead.
It's a 20-foot truck, yeah.
Can I get some chili sauce?
All right, stop.
Yeah. Actually, I have one. Oh, no, she's taking it today. Never mind.
So it's a 20, we look at hot dogs sometimes like the little cart. So you've got a 20-foot hot dog truck. What made you need to get 20 feet?
Well, it was kind of before the market got hot, so it was a good price. It was actually Door Street Cafe's old trailer. And they ran it for years, and I actually got fired from my job for a hot minute for a month. They held me out of service, so I bought it. Think I'm gonna start this hot dog truck. Well, then they called me back, so the hot dog truck sat over the winter. It wasn't even a hot dog truck. They sold brats and fried bologna sandwiches on it, actually.
All right. So talk about your background. Your background it's not food, is it?
I mean, I'm fat. I mean, sure. It's no. My background. I used to make car batteries. 26 and a half years I made car batteries.
Okay, so 26 and a half years you're doing the car battery thing, you're making good money, you're doing all that stuff. So then what made you, you said you were off for a month, and what you decided that...
Yeah, actually, the funny thing is the plant manager hated me, really. So he kind of helped me out for some BS, and I bought the truck. Actually, let me rewind here if you want to get story.
Yeah.
The money came from my father, which taught me, he's the one that taught me how to make the sauce. After he sat down, we had, he came over one day and we made it together, and basically, it was, it's not super hard, but anyway, it was a nice father-son moment. And a month later, he had passed. So obviously, I took that money. He left me and enrolled. That's how this became.
Wow.
What it is. So it's kind of all just. I feel guilty a lot. I used to feel guilty really a lot on the first couple seasons. Like this is something he would fucking give it a left nut for, really. Right. This was his wheelhouse.
It's his dream. You're living out his dream.
Yeah, in a sense.
You kind of wish you would have seen what it's turned into.
Absolutely. I would give my left to have him see it, to be honest with you. I mean, I'm sure he's looking down seeing it, but so this is in a sense, I'm living out his dream. Not that a food truck was his dream, but he always wanted to go to there's a bar in Michigan. He always went there. He's like, man, I can make this place so much better, and that's the guy how he was.
Well, okay, so the sauce, it's a family recipe, or did he start the recipe?
My grandpa, actually, in the 50s.
Okay.
Just made it for the family. I always remember him, in the 80s in middle school, making it and be like, oh, Josh, this is a good batch. Just a little spicy, but it's a good batch. Just a little salty. So finally, when I made it, my grandpa's measurements were, 2.5 cups ish, or 2 large ones or whatever. It was random. I'm like, I can't have randomness. So I had to obviously start weighing everything by weight.
Right.
So that way it wasn't saltier. It wasn't a spiciest batch. So it's totally consistent every time we go out. But yeah, so it's been a family forever. And, even growing up, we'd have parties and people would come just because they knew the hot dog sauce would be there. And I remember him tell a recipe to somebody when I was younger. I'm like, hey, don't tell them that. It's not that it's a secret sauce. Right. But I want to sell this one day, maybe,
Oh, so you knew at a younger, so people would.
I say younger. I say like teenage years, probably. I knew there was something there because I knew people came there. That's people talked about the sauce a lot.
So you knew you had something. You're like, hey, Gramps, don't be giving out the recipe that easy.
At that time, middle age. But yeah, it was. I don't know if I knew I had something per se, but I knew it was. I wanted to maybe sell it one day or something.
I know exactly what you mean. My mom, I would always taste my mom's cooking, and I knew that the food that I ate there was better than most places. Certain items, I knew they were better. I knew she had, like as you say, I knew she had something. I didn't know if we would ever do anything with it.
Sure, and a lot of times we're biased, right? My grandma's pies are better than your grandma's pies. It is what it is.
Right.
So I actually took a class in UT probably 15, 16 years ago, maybe. And kind of asked the guy, he's like, everybody loves it? Like, yeah. He goes, well, they paying for it? Well, no, we give it away for free. That's why everybody loves it. I don't know, but let me try selling it. So we took it to work and we tried to sell it. We sold a shit ton. I took a vacation day to taste test, and and we were better than everybody else by taste testing. It's like, all right, now let's do something with it, And I wish I would have did something when he was still around with it. Besides, because actually, what he was doing, we posted it at my work, and we sold 100 pounds like in 2 days. Well, here's the poor guy. He was making the 5-pound batches. I'm making 30-pound batches. I could do up to 80, really. But sure, he's doing 5-pound batches. Oh, he was so sore. I felt so bad for him.
No, John, isn't it? Because I used to have a little pizza place, and I know that the sauce, the sauce that we handmade, it was day 4 that it was perfect. Like if it would sit for 4 days, then all the spices and everything would just be perfect. Does your sauce change flavor as it sits, or do you always do it the same day, or how does that work?
Maybe you do it a couple days ahead of time. I mean, obviously, we always store it frozen. On the food truck, I make it fresh every week. I don't have a freezer on the truck. But if I do go to a brick and mortar one day, I will have a freezer, and I'll freeze it and rotate it that way. Because we've all had chili, not necessarily chili sauce, but chili with beans, whatever in it, and it's usually the better the next day, or frozen, or So yeah, I don't know if it's better necessarily or worse, or definitely not worse, but that's something I'll do is probably try to freeze it, because it does help maybe, but I don't know if there's a difference. I can't say for sure.
Okay, so you're not a food guy, but you had this sauce recipe. You get the shutdown. You buy the truck. So now you're going to roll the truck, but now you go back to work. So how long does the truck sit before you finally are able to dip your toe into the water?
I want to say, I wish I was right time. I want to say I sat the winter, and because we kind of bought it late. Then obviously going back to work, I was like, all right, well here I got my good paying job back again. Right. Let me make that money. So I want to say over the winter. So then the next following spring, sure enough, I got held out again. Now, mind you, I've been there for 19 plus years without any trouble. This plant manager comes in, all of a sudden twice within almost a year, I get technically fired. Right. So now my anger starts turning for this place. Not anger, but all right, fuck this place. I mean,
I get it. Now you're there. Before you kind of liked it. Now you're just there for the paycheck, and it's like, no, I'm
sure. And the insurance. I mean, and people. I'm not going wrong. I mean, 26 and a half years there, man. I met a lot of great people there, man. I think any other job, or for you probably met a lot of great people doing what you do.
Oh yeah. So about the 20-year mark, you're having problems with this plant manager. You buy the truck, and then when's the first time you take it out? It sits for the winter. That summer, did you take it out? That spring, summer?
It was that following year, yep. So this is our 5th season. So I'm trying to do math in my head. What year that is? That's
right. You're in your 5th season now, but your first season you take it out. And from season 1 to season 5, I'm guessing there have been a lot of evolutions. What worked? What didn't work?
Let me tell you this evolution real quick. I just talked about the story the other day. Okay. So season 1, I want to say the first maybe 10 events or so. The first 2 seasons we actually boiled our hot dogs. We didn't grill them like we do now. Oh shit, my dog's moving. Oh, so we boiled them. So the first, I would say 10 events, we'd have 8 extra, 10 extra, 20 extra, whatever. Obviously that was all new to me. So I would keep them in the hot dog water until the next event, and I'd reuse them the next day. Boiled hot dogs. Now, granted, I mean it's nothing sure a lot of places do, but now I would never ever reuse a boiled hot dog, or any hot dog for that matter. If it's cooked and I don't sell it, I give it away or we eat it. But yeah, so that was to me.
That's what happened to you. You had to eat a few of them to figure out.
We ate a few. Well, I've gotten better too. Obviously, just like you probably experienced getting better with prepping. Obviously.
Oh yeah.
The first season we threw a lot of stuff away because we didn't do it full time, so I couldn't keep it week to week. So
you were only doing it on the weekends. So you're like, you got a Monday through Friday job or whatever, and then you're down your days off or whatever. You'd go out, but I'm sure you're tired too. So
sure,
you're going out all your days off.
The first 3 or 4 years, we pretty much went out 2 to 4 times a weekend.
Wow.
And again, my job was fortunate, so I had Friday, Saturday off. It worked out perfect for me. Sunday was my Monday, which was kind of rough, but for the most part, we had good days for food trucking.
Yep.
So it was like double dipping.
Okay, so back to your boiling. So you were boiling the hot dogs, season 1. So go ahead and finish your story. I cut you off.
So yeah, so we would boil them, and if we had 10 extra, we'd keep in the hot dog water until like the next event.
Uh-huh.
So if we cooked 10 extra on Friday, we'd use those 10 extra on Saturday first thing. It was, I don't know, to me it's just kind of, I don't know.
You wouldn't do
boil
it.
the hot dog once it's cooked. It's only got so long at life anyway.
Uh-huh.
You know, but here we are, season 5, and we grill them now because we had a funky taste of our hot dogs for about a month.
Uh-huh.
Season 2.
Uh-huh.
And it took me about a month to figure out why these hot dogs tasted funny. So what happened was we were downtown for the 4th of July, and we were actually next to Burger Bistro.
Uh-huh.
The Bistro Burger, however you want to say it.
Uh-huh.
And so this lady comes up to me. She goes, something's not right. I'm like, all right. Well, the week prior, the lady was at the Fairways Farmer Market, and she told me, she goes, look, my husband, I got hot dogs. This is probably the best hot dog we ever had. However, the bun tastes like gas. Like, the bun tastes like gas. That can't be good.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. This was the message she sent me after that Thursday night.
Mm-hmm.
So that following week, it was the 4th of July, I believe. And we were downtown, and the lady comes up to me, and she ordered a hot dog. She goes, this doesn't taste right. Like, oh, fuck, is it the buns?
Mm-hmm.
I taste the bun. I didn't taste anything. So I thought, well, let me remake it one. She goes, oh, I don't know. I said, well, I'll remake it. It'll be fine. So I gave her another one, and she come right back. So I want my money back.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God, this is crazy. What the hell's going on? Mind you, this is 4th of July. We had a line, a nice size line. Yeah. I shut the window. I was like, we're not selling hot dogs. Hold on, let's figure this out. So I walked over to Adam, and I took my bun over there. I said, Adam, I need a hot dog. He goes, what? You sell hot dogs? I said, dude, I need a hot dog. So I put a hot dog in my bun, and I tasted it. It tasted totally fine. So I come back and I tasted our hot dog, and sure enough, it was our hot dog. Well, what had happened is those food grade buckets. I must have the water. I got the white buckets. I keep our water we boil in there, and somehow that plastic taste must have started leaching into the hot dogs. So they tasted funny. They taste like plastic, basically what they taste like. But it took me a month to figure out, because what I did that day is I put ice in a pan, and it tasted fine. So that's how I figured it out. So after that event, we started grilling them. I said, I'm not gonna boil them anymore. But yeah, that was a month of who knows how many people tasted my hot dog and went, oh, this is horrible. You know what I'm saying? They'll probably never come back.
Oh God. Well, but so there's a million hot dog places, trucks. What is it? Just the sauce, or what now makes yours stand out?
I think it's the sauce. I mean, really, anybody can cook a hot dog. Anybody can go to the store and buy a hot dog, right? Yeah. I do want to make my own hot dogs because I do want to separate from everybody.
So one day you plan on making your own.
That's the plan. I have a lot of plans, obviously. We all do. Always hit lottery, whatever it may be.
Right.
Yeah, I do want to make my own hot dog. I have a sauce that I think is good, and if I can make a hot dog that I think is better than Ballpark, now I got 2 winners. And so.
I love it. I love the attitude, because to me, you either have to be the only one in a category, like you have to stand out by being unusual, or you have to try to be the best in the category.
Sure. So, absolutely. Like my nachos, the other day I was like, we just use some store-bought nacho chips and cheese. I just have them because I have already a lot of the items on my truck.
Right.
So no one's coming to my truck going, oh my God, we gotta get these nachos. Which I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But if you come and you want my chili dog or the popper dog, which are highly popular, and your kid wants nachos, I can fill that order. You know what I'm saying? So.
Right. So you carry them there because you have all the items.
Sure. I want some options, but at the end of the day, I look at like places like Chick-fil-A, even Five Guys, and some of these places where your options are so limited. In-N-Out Burger, it's 2-4 things that they do well.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So all right. Now so you're back at work now. The truck is going. You're 5 seasons in. You're 26 years in at the job. And what happened last week?
I was the toxic work environment, really, for me. My well-being is more important than that place. So yeah, I was told before, I'm one bad day away.
And you had that bad day. You said fucking walked away.
Yeah, and it wasn't the plan. It wasn't even like it was a preempted or anything. I went in the office and they were in a meeting, and I think that's what really set them off. And I was there to yell, and I was so fucking pissed off about a situation I bitched about prior. And I was letting some steam off. And he was like, "Let's go talk in the hallway." I'm like, "Fuck it, I quit." He goes, "Well, let's go to your locker." I'm like, "Okay." I wasn't gonna argue it. I'm not mad. I don't have remorse. It is what it is.
Right.
I mean, there's life beyond that place.
Are you an impulse guy though? Or like when you went home, were you like, fuck, like, are you the type of guy that says things and sometimes 2 hours later you're like, oh man, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Maybe I shouldn't have done that.
Ish. I mean, I don't ever regret it. I never regret what I say. I mean, I'm pretty, even in my maddest points, I'll say something, but I don't necessarily regret it because, they probably need to hear it. Even here, I got home that day and it was, it's took a day or so to kind of sink in because it happened really fast.
Yeah.
But it's not anything like I didn't think about it, if that makes sense. I thought about it for the last 10 years, really.
Right. And you just like the moment just hit, and like you said, you're one bad day away, and here we go. Let's do this. So, okay, you get home, and it takes a couple days to sink in. So now, are you thinking now after taking the truck out 2 or 3 days a week, you're one of the most popular trucks in town? I mean, you're always in the conversation. There's
I don't know about that, but
there's probably a couple tiers. There's a top tier of trucks. I don't know how many are in it. It could be 100. I don't know. And there's you're always in the top.
I appreciate you thinking like that, but I think, hey, drop that gas log. I think of like Rusty and Adam, the Rosies, the guys that even Genies. I mean, there's been taco trucks that have been around forever. I'm sure no one even knows about. Those are the people that, to me, that kind of set Toledo the way it is now. Again, I remember my dad coming home in high school having, it wasn't a food truck, like what they call them, lunch wagons, what they call them,
roach coaches, lunch wagons.
Yeah, and bring these burritos home that were freaking amazing, man.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're cooked in a fasted house or whatever. I don't care. They were so good. But
people making plates at home and they're bringing like their tamales to work and their plates to work.
Yeah, he worked at Jeep, so yeah, there's all kinds of food there. So
okay, so but now are you gonna try? Are you looking for another job, or you're like,
no? I'm gonna add some more events per week. I mean, obviously, I was double dipping.
Yeah,
the events I already have was just extra money. So now I just use that money and pay myself, then pick up a couple extra gigs to pay my bills. So, I mean, obviously with 100 and some food trucks in Toledo, I'm pretty sure I, can make it. If not, I'll get another job working for whoever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But how long are you going to give it? Because I think you need to put both feet in, because I think you're talented enough. And like I said, you're in the top tier where you can make a decent living just doing food.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think when I quit my job last week, I think both feet kind of went in. And unintentionally. I mean, I got bills that are not going to stop, apparently. I called them, asked them, I said, hey, I don't have a job anymore. Can you stop for a while? And they said, no.
No.
Got kind of a messed up situation. But anywho, so, so, I mean, my biggest thing now is routine, right? This is all new to me. What days do I do what now? Because before I cooked sauce every Friday, or Thursday. The day before the event, I cooked sauce. I know it takes 5 hours. I cook fries the day before. So now it's going to be different. It's going to be, wash, rinse, repeat. On Monday, I do this. Wednesday, I do this. So,
well, and I'm guessing because you've lived in a routine for so many years, and even before the food truck, I mean, when you have work, you're a routine. You have to be a routine guy. So I'm guessing you're probably not going to be settled until you get a routine down. But that's going to take time to figure out what your new routine is going to be.
Yeah. I mean, and again, this is all going to be kind of newish.
Right.
The routine is going to be newish to me,
Yeah.
And my routine now is sleep until about 9. It felt pretty good. So get up at 5 o'clock every day.
Are you worried at all, or are you not worried? You're like, I got this.
Worried as in which part?
Financial, just lifestyle.
Oh, sure. I mean, it's life's weird, man. It'll figure itself out. It really will.
As a guy that was in prison 4 years ago, it will always.
I mean, I'll hustle something if I have to make bills. Yeah. I mean, I'm saying, I mean, sure. I mean, I'm worried that I may not be able to live the lifestyle I lived for 26 years to get a high paying job. I mean, it is what it is. I understand that. It's a consequence of quitting my good paying job.
Right. Well, but here's the thing: if you're doing 3 or 4 events, I mean, you could do 8 events and probably make as much money as you were making before.
Oh, I'm sure of that already.
Yeah,
I know that. I know I can make what I was making out there. Obviously, but now it's not just getting up in the morning and going there and just getting through the day. Now it's I have. This is nothing.
Right.
if I go to work on a shitty day, hungover or whatever, I could still make my money that day because I was there.
Right.
You know,
you punched in.
If the truck's in the driveway, they don't still pay me. It's this world's crazy, man.
I know. It's funny because people were talking, because today, the day we're taping, it's going to be 100 degrees, and people are like, well, who's going out, who's not going out? I'm like, well, if I don't go out, I don't make money. I'm going out. let's do this.
Yeah, for sure. That's what it's going to be too. And you know, and once I kind of figure out, like I said, a routine, I'll know maybe like Sunday, Mondays, this is my prep and shopping days.
Right.
What about Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Friday, Saturdays or something, you know?
Yeah.
But again, you know, she still works. So like we're not going to do lunches. I mean, if we do, it might be a corner by myself, maybe, you know, because I can run the truck by myself. I'm not going to pump out big numbers.
Mm-hmm.
But if I go to a corner where I can make a little bit of money, and that's just, you know, extra money that I wouldn't have had not going on, obviously.
You think about this, Josh, is, I mean, I don't know what it costs to run your truck, but let's say you can go out by yourself and you can do $200 or $300 and your costs are half that. I mean, you're still, that's an extra $500-$600 a week. You got 3 or 4 lunches.
Sure.
Wow.
And that's exactly what I told myself too. You know, I just don't want to go to somewhere and then all of a sudden be by myself and have 60 people in line for some weird reason. You know, I do, obviously, not by myself.
Right. No, I know what you mean. I have that same fight with myself every day. It's like I can go out and run the truck by myself, but I can't run the truck by myself. It's a lot quicker to get overwhelmed when you're by yourself.
Well, absolutely. Like, we did Waterville Rock the Block the other day. I had my daughter help us out, which I think the first time in about a year we had help on the truck. Mm-hmm. And it's night and day having 3 people on there.
Yep.
You know, the lines were long, but we blew through them. It was way less stressful because, you know, with 2 of us, she stopped taking orders to help me sometimes.
Right.
But she really had to do that because I already had help back there. So obviously you make more money that way too.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And it's always going to be a balance. How many people do I schedule? And I got to make sure that the amount of money coming in is going to justify the amount of people I schedule. It's a battle every event.
Yeah. That's all I learned too is, you know, I mean, obviously 2 of us can run that truck, and obviously I'm going to ask a lot on her, and I'm basically getting a second job, she calls it. Mm-hmm. I call her summertime fun. She looks at the hot truck differently than I do.
Wait, you look at it for her as summertime fun.
I told her, so it's like it screams summertime because I store it in the wintertime. I don't store it at the house. So every fall I bring it in and get it ready for inspections and whatnot. And I think it screams summertime fun. She doesn't see it that way.
I get it. All right. So, Josh, what's the one thing that you would tell your beginning self? What's a piece of advice that you wish you would have known when you first started?
Wow, I wish I would have known.
Or something you've learned that you could pass along to somebody else that would help them.
I'm trying to think. Well, I mean, I've learned so much. I mean, and you know, just of my food. But I'm trying to think of the industry itself. You know, I learned I don't really pay for events like I used to. The first couple of years, I mean, I was paying for all kinds of events, which don't get me wrong. I mean, those events a lot of times draw big money, but we were downtown and we paid, you know, $350 to be down there one event, and none of us made money that day. It was slow. The numbers they gave us were off, and I literally made $450 that day. So I netted $100. Well, all the trucks did horrible, you know, and so I was like, man, that left a sour taste in my mouth. Yeah,
you bring up I'm glad you brought that up. It's such a good point. I think. Even I've only been doing this only my second season, but I think from even last season to this season, I'm paying for less events because there's so many great places to go for free where it's a mutual benefit. Like wherever you're coming, they see you as a benefit, and obviously you see them as a benefit because you can sell.
Yeah, I think the pandemic helped that because, you know, we scratch yours, we scratch our back. I mean, I've been to many breweries, you know, I'm using a brewery for example, where people have come and eaten and then, you know, that place even existed. And I'm sure vice versa. I'm sure that place, someone came got a beer and never heard of me either. So yeah, so I think it works both ways.
No, I totally agree. And so the only way I'm going to pay for an event is if it has a track record. Now I'm not going to take a chance and pay for an event that no one knows about or that is new or whatever. Nothing against the event, but now if you want to let me in free because you're taking a chance, you don't know who's going to show up at your event. Well, I have to take a chance too. So if the mutually beneficial, you and I are both going to take the chance, then I may go there for free. But I'm not going to pay you for a first season event. I'm just not going to do it. I mean, maybe would have done it in season 1, but that's what I would pass along to someone else. It has for you to pay. It has to have a track record.
Yeah, exactly. Something that I know for sure I'm going to make that money.
Exactly. And here's another one I do, and I just made this up in my head. So I know that I have to have probably 50 people at an event to make it worth my while. I have to serve 50 people.
50 people.
Yeah, or somewhere around there. So if someone tells me they have 200 people at an event, then I know I'm going to cut it in half. 100 people are going to eat.
Oh, yep.
No, 100 people are really going to show up. They say 200. It's always 100 people are going to show up. So they say 2. I say 100. Of those, 50 are going to eat. So I'm good. So basically, it's got to be a 200-person event that they say for me to work there, or 200 or more. That's kind of my benchmark.
Number, yeah, for sure.
It's kind of worked for us. I mean,
well, we did an event. I want to say season 2-ish.
Uh-huh.
It was at the Masonic, or whatever it's called now, and it was like a Black Swamps market or something. Anywho, it was the first one. Long story short, it cost us $50 to be there for the weekend, and like the year later, we ended up getting this thing from the judge. They had a lawsuit against this chick. It was all scammed. And she was in the court for like, how long did you go to court for? Like 6-8 months, maybe? Yeah, we would get stuff in the mail for 6-8 months of updating the court, how it was going. She basically scammed people out of money. Not so much us. I mean, we didn't do much, but these vendors that sat there and just it was crazy. But yeah.
I always wonder at events like that where I see vendors selling like blown glass for like $800 and I see nobody going up to their table. I'm like, I know you paid probably $1,500, $2,000 to be, I don't know, $500 be here. I'm like, oh, I feel so bad for you. Like for me, it's just my time, really. I mean, doesn't cost a whole lot, but no, that's a great one though. Paying for events, I think you really should watch the events you pay for, because you don't have to pay for them as much.
So one of my first questions if I'm paying for an event, obviously if it's a downtown concert, I don't ask them this, I know Pro Medica, I know what it is. But if it's some random event, I'm like, okay, so what am I getting for my $50? Am I getting advertisement, or am I getting some power? What am I getting for that, money? So that's one of my questions I always ask. I'm always curious.
All right, brother. Well, we're going to see on the Deuce's Dogs is the food truck, and you're going to see him out there a lot more now because he's got rent to pay. There it is, beautiful. Got rent to pay and all that other. You have that lavish lifestyle that we have to fund. So we can find some hot dogs from you, right?
Sure. Yeah. What's that? Yeah, buy some hot dogs. Yeah.
All right, brother. All right. Good talking to you, Josh. I know you got to go and do some stuff.
Harrisburg.
Deuce's Dogs. Thank you, brother.
All right. I appreciate it, buddy.
There it is.
Later.
Thank you. Later. The Official Food Truck Podcast. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you could, like the page, share it, tell a friend, and we will see you next time. Bye, everybody.